And we should be live by now. Let me see. Let me check on the page if I can see it.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Can you see it on the page?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, very good. We have Mr. Tayo here tonight with us. Ty, thank you very much for joining on the page, and we'll just do a brief interview with you. And Ty, first of all, how are you?
I'm fantastic, and I appreciate you having me on. I'm interested to share my story about how your program really made a difference in my life.
All right, that's good to hear. Thank you. So, first of all, where are you from, Ty?
I'm kind of from all over. Born in Ontario, Ottawa, the capital of Canada.
Hmm.
Grew up in the Midwestern United States, and then back in Ontario. I've lived in New York City, all over the place. So I'm kind of one of those North Americans who's made several stops. I'm just North American, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Irish North American. But yeah.
Okay, good. So, tell us about a little bit about your story, or maybe focusing on your smoking habit and how it was your. I mean, when did you start and
It
and
was
how did you get to smoke?
I remember I was in high school. I was a big athlete, a big basketball player,
All
and
right.
all my friends, and that's all we cared about was basketball. But I was always the one idiot who would sneak down at lunchtime and go have a cigarette with the other people, the other crowd, the non-athletes. And I would get, my friends would bug me about it, and I kept doing that. And every time we go to a concert or something like that, I'd be the one guy in the group going out to have, a cigarette. So it started like that. I didn't smoke too much through high school, but then once I got out of high school and I couldn't play basketball anymore because I hurt my knee, I just fell into it. It went from 0 to 100 pretty quick. And that was probably when I was 19 or 20. I'm 38 now. So it probably went to when I was 19 or 20 years old. And then at different times in my life, I've tried to stop, and successfully so on several occasions, but only for a month or so, 2 months or 3 months. And I always find an excuse to go back, always. And so for me, it started at a young age, and I always knew it was something I didn't want to do, and I've hated it my whole life. Yet I've just kept doing it, and until I saw your program, I didn't think there was going to be a way to stop doing it whatsoever.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much the same as we all started to smoke. I mean, I was a heavy smoker myself. So I was smoking up to 3 packs a day, and so I got finally out of it. And so, but yeah, I mean, me too. When I was a young boy, I started to smoke pretty much the same way. And what's your first memory ever about cigarettes? I mean, how did your first cigarette taste?
I remember getting dizzy, and I was in a boathouse. And it was nighttime, so there was a boat parked in this little shed, with I got so dizzy I almost fell in the water. And it was about 3 in the morning. I was 14 years old, and I liked the buzz of it. At that time, I was going through, typical adolescent type stuff, stuff that 14-year-old kids go through. And so I kept doing it. And my biggest problem was the people I was with that influenced me to do it. If I would have just stayed with my athlete friends, it wouldn't happen. But yeah, it tasted. I didn't like the taste of it, but it made me feel like an adult, which is an age-old reason for doing this. It really did make me feel more mature, more on my own.
Right,
And I think I like that. There was definitely a rebel factor. There was definitely something that made me say, I'm doing this because you can't stop me from doing it.
right. That's very classic. That's very typical. I mean, that's the same thing that I felt when I started smoking. I think it's pretty much the story of everyone when we start smoking, because our first cigarettes really don't taste good,
Yeah,
and it gets kind of difficult to become a smoker. But the fact that older people were smoking and we were always let's say taught that smoking was cool. I mean, there was this little feeling into our subconscious mind that actually what clicked. I mean, what made us become smokers, right?
absolutely. There definitely was a cool factor. Although at the time, I remember a lot of the cool people I hung out with hated it, but I still continued to do it for the maturity factor of it all. I regret it now. I definitely regret it now.
All right. But now you're. I mean, what's your relation with cigarettes right now, today, as we speak?
Oh, I despised them. They became a crutch for me during the physical problems that I had.
Uh-huh.
And after my accident, every time I was in a lot of pain, I would smoke. Every time I was just not feeling well, I would smoke. So detaching that from my daily regimen of coping and dealing with stuff was a key part. I had to take it away and convince myself that it wasn't part of the solution. It was never going to be part of the solution. So today, my relationship with cigarettes is, I honestly, to be completely honest, I don't like thinking about it very much. I don't like talking about it very much because I'm still at that point where I'm weak enough to go and have a cigarette and then, like that. So I try to keep it out of sight, out of mind, but they're definitely not a part of my life on a permanent basis at all.
Well, you may. I also have to say that. I mean, you're not living an easy life, right? I mean, your situation is already standard. So,
Well, yeah, yeah, but like I said, it can't be part of the solution. Now, what? Then I make my life worse by getting lung cancer or
right.
emphysema, or So I guess, but I understand what you're saying. Just for me, I guess I'm trying to look at it long term, right?
Yeah,
So,
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think you're a great example to follow. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, even myself, when I was a smoker, but I was a happy person. I mean, I could do pretty much whatever I wanted, but I was always giving myself excuses. And there's a lot of people out there who are just smoking, and they're just feeling like they are, I don't know, they are the last boats on the road and the last wheel of the car, if I may say, and they do nothing but complaining, and they just give themselves excuses. But I mean, you with your, I see you're a pretty strong man, though your situation, and I think you're a great example to follow. And you are really somebody who can teach a lot to people around that if you want to achieve something, if you want to achieve a goal, it is doable for everyone. Am I right? Am I wrong?
no, you're absolutely right. And one of the key things for me that I see people get caught up in is they'll start a program or they'll start a lesson, they'll start your program, and they go a couple days into it. And then after a couple of days, or, a few lessons, 6, 7 lessons, whatever, then they stop. And because they had one cigarette or two cigarettes one day, and they think, well, I can't do this anymore because I messed up my program by having a cigarette or whatever. And for me, I think that is the worst approach you can take. You absolutely have to be willing to accept the fact that you are going to fail, you are going to stumble along the way. But the most important thing isn't about how many times you fall down, it's about how many times you get back up. And so when you have to get back up like that, if you middle of your course, so what? Keep pushing forward. Go back a couple lessons.
Right.
Don't abandon it. Don't abandon it. It's not there to be abandoned. It's not there to be a quick fix. It's there to guide you. It's there to guide you through that. And so I think it's really important that people understand not to get hung up on a bad day or even a bad week. It doesn't mean you can't still quit. It doesn't mean that these lessons aren't going to help you. It doesn't mean that what you've learned isn't relevant. It just means, so what? You had a bump in the road. Get up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Yeah, I can tell you there's a lot of people who even quitting, I mean, quit doing the course like after one or two lessons just because they're just looking for excuses to continue. Because, I mean, look, associating the word easy with quit smoking is something that I don't like. The concept is simple. So I call this program simple because positioning yourself as a non-smoker while you're still smoking is rather simple. But there's a journey to build. So there's really work to do. And this is important to know. I mean, I'm not selling this as an easy fix because easy fixes don't exist. And usually people tend to associate word easy with magic.
Oh yeah.
There are many people out there who, I mean, even myself. I mean, when I was, there's a famous book out there that it says that it's quit smoking is easy. However, there's a lot of work to do, and but of course you have to have the pieces in place. You have to have the instructions, and if you follow them step by step, then it becomes doable. Saying easy, people tend to associate easy with magic, like I said, and they say, I mean, it's just enough to take a course and not put yourself really at work, and then magic happens, and then from one day to another one, you're a non-smoker. But that's not quite right. It's not right the way it works. And it
You have to commit. You got to commit and stay committed.
sure,
You can't let one thing throw you off of that commitment.
right, exactly. I mean, now tell me, uh, how do you find the lessons? How do you find? Are they hard to follow? Is it something really complicated, or
No, I find them simple, and I think one of the reasons it worked for me so well is because you and I are both kind of the same type of guy. We're no BS type of guys. We say things straight out, straightforward. And so your lessons were the first ones that related to me, that I could actually take the time and I was interested in, because I knew I wasn't being bullshitted, for lack of a better term. So, it just, that's the way it was. And so, I don't find them complicated. I find them very supportive. And I think people need to, if they're going to commit to this program, they need to understand that your voice in these lessons has to be a constant. You know what I mean? You're not demeaning them. You're not telling us we're all wrong. You're not telling us we're dumb for smoking. You're just saying, this is my lesson. This is what to do. And that's how we're going to do it.
yeah? My goal is, I mean, since I've been there, I've been you're probably looking at one of the worst smoking addicts in the world. But besides that, I'm 7 years free from smoke. But since I've been there, my intention is taking smokers, let's say, by the hands, but not telling BS, because life is brutal and you have to put yourself at work. And I'm
Absolutely.
not the type of guy who's cherishing people. Oh no, don't worry, everything will be fine. You'll be all right. And it's okay. No, that's not. I mean, I think that's not the way I intend these things to work. And I think the only way to achieve a great goal is just to put yourself, I mean, head down and do some work and be successful. And it's very doable to be successful, right?
Well, absolutely. There's nothing that's going to work unless you're willing to put work into it, right? You
Right.
can't, like you said, nothing's an easy fix. And it's kind of funny because you see people smoke for 20, 30 years, and then they expect it to be over within a day.
Right.
You put 20, 30 years in developing this habit. It's going to take time to break this habit. I mean, that's just as simple as it is.
That's right. So Ty, tell me, what do you think about patches and vapes and all these nicotine substitutes?
It's point to me. It's counterproductive, simply because of the fact that if you're really going to quit, be nicotine free, those patches will let you down, a little bit more gently, but you're still just putting more nicotine into your system. Now, the vaporizing stuff, I think, are horrible, because I'm convinced that that stuff that you inhale in there gets stuck in your lungs. I think we're going to find out in 5, 10 years that people's lungs are coated with that crap, sticky stuff you inhale from vaporizers. And I think it's going to cause a whole new form of cancer and or new disease that we don't even know about yet.
Right.
And so for me, it's I won't go near those things. And I've never been one of those guys. I've always kind of been a cold turkey type guy, just deal with it, and
Mm-hmm.
but if people do choose to use those, remember that it's very temporary. You can't go from smoking 2 packs, 3 packs, whatever a day, to then replacing that habit with chewing a pack of nicotine gum every day. You know what I
Right.
mean? You may be helping your lungs, but you're still putting a lot of crap into your system,
Sure.
right? So, that's just the way I see it, I guess.
And let's not forget, these are oily stuff. I mean, oil is not even good in your veins. So if you put oily stuff in your lungs, I mean, but
Yeah.
yeah, besides that, there's also another thing to say is, really my goal is to set people free from addiction and for ourselves to be free to decide when we want to take a break and when we want to take control of our life. So if you are still addicted to even vaping, you're not really free. So the problem is not really solved, right?
Absolutely. You're just replacing one habit with another, and you're still filling your lungs with a lot of bad stuff.
Right.
But yeah, those vaporizers, they're trouble. I'm convinced. No matter what you're vaporizing, whether it's just nicotine stuff or plain fluid that's sweetened or whatever, I think they're absolutely wrong path to take.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
Well, thanks. And I value a lot your opinion because you've been one of the best students I had. Because I mean, like I said, you demonstrated great attitude and you demonstrated great results in relatively short time. How long did it take you to become that
Uh,
free?
well, if I wouldn't have gotten sick, it would have been 11 days total from start to finish for me, but probably 16 days before, like 16 days of lessons before I was like done. And yeah, I'd say about 2 weeks max, 2 weeks max. But I was also in a position where I was done. I needed something like this. You know what I mean? I was ready. I've been ready for 3-4 years. I just keep making excuses. So your lessons, they definitely spoke to me, and they drew me in. And once my mother, who's also another success story of yours, once she told me, and I saw the results from what she was doing, and my mother helps take care of me, and I see her all the time, obviously. And when I see her go from what she was smoking to nothing, I thought, well.
Right. And by the way, for the people who are following this video, your mother is Sister Simon Claire. We were supposed to have the same interview last Thursday, but unfortunately we had some sort of technical issues. I was at a place where the Wi-Fi was not performing well, but we will reschedule it for another time. And
yeah, she mentioned that she's definitely looking forward to being able to tell her story as well. And right. she's always really nice to deal with, so it'll be fun.
Right. So basically, she's the one who introduced you to the program, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I gotta admit, I'm a pessimist, maybe a bit of a skeptic on a lot of stuff. But when you see your own mother go from smoking to not smoking and sticking with it through a period of time, day in, day out, even when I was still smoking, that's the other thing. She was around a smoker while she was doing that, and she still didn't smoke. You know what I mean? That to me was all the evidence you needed. I mean, there's no more proof you could ask for, in my opinion.
It's impressive. Well, I have to tell you, both you and your mother, you did an excellent job. And ultimately, the result of success is just thanks to you, because I may give you the tools, but the way you use them is just yours. I mean, there's people out there who got this course as well, but they are not using it right. So, of course, they are not being successful. I'm not saying I have absolutely no interest in saying that I have 100% success rate, because I want to tell the truth to people. And the very first thing I say in the introductory video is that this course is only working if you put yourself at work. And if you put yourself at work, and if you are diligent with the lessons, then it becomes very much doable. I mean, you are an example, like 16 days after years of smoking. I mean, this is just outstanding.
I can't tell you, just so anybody watching this knows, I mean, I have tried to quit probably 30 times in the last 15 years. No joke. And I mean, when I try, I mean, I really have tried. And this is the only time that's ever worked. So I'm very grateful. And I want to thank you so much for providing this tool to us. And you're really making a difference. And your program really does work. It's not BS. And it deserves all the attention in the world. And you deserve all the credit in the world as well. We're grateful. We are eternally grateful. This is not just something people got to remember. It's not just quitting smoking. This is saving us misery down the road. Right. You know what I mean? Like absolute misery the last 20 years of our lives, if we're lucky to, just because of the disease and everything that smoking brings with it. So you've given us a true gift, and I personally am very grateful, and I know my mother is too.
Right. Well, thanks for your work. Well, yeah, I have to ask you a question, because sometimes I get a lot of questions from people. Did I pay you to pitch this sales course? I mean, did I pay you to pitch this training?
To pitch this course?
Yeah.
No, God, no. I just I've been lucky enough, because I know my mother speaks to you. So I've been lucky enough to speak to you on Facebook, on Messenger over the past couple of months.
Right.
And like I said, you're my type of guy. We just get along, you and I, because we approach things the same way, I think. And absolutely not. I wish. Come on. I mean, we'll make money. Like, that'd be great. But absolutely not. No, and I'll tell you what, I'll be proud to come on and talk any other time you like as well.
Right. Well, I just asked you, of course it was a provocative question, but I just asked this to you because I get all sorts of accusations on a daily basis, be it that I didn't be calling it spam, but it's fine, it's okay. I mean, it's just a part of the game. When you are out there, when you are, I mean, you're also a public person. You do your
MMA.
You're a journalist, right?
Yeah. I'm a journalist. Yeah.
Yeah. So being a journalist, I mean, you're a rather famous person. You have some fame. When you start being
I wouldn't know about
visible,
fame, but you know, people. I am in the public. I'm not
right,
famous, but I'm in the public eye sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah. People ask crazy. People think that every move you make is financially endorsed by somebody else.
right,
So you're compensated for it. People just because the internet's a horrible place, right? So they don't get that guys like a guy from Italy and a guy in Canada right now could be, talking like this without there being some sort of arrangement. And that, we got to change stuff like that. We got to change that perception. It's nothing wrong with helping people. You help me, and now I'm more than happy to come on and do this. You saved me. Because of you, I'm not going to have lung cancer. I'm not going to have emphysema. I'm not going to be years in the hospital, which I've already spent through my own accident. So to me, I mean, it's the least I can do. Anybody thinks otherwise, that's crazy. I mean, that's yeah. And I tell you what, anybody out there who tries this program and they will be successful. Once they're successful, I guarantee you too will want to come on and talk about it because it's not just a gimmick. You'll see why I feel like this now. You too will feel like how I feel.
right. Good. Hey, so if you had to tell something to smokers who want to quit but can't, what would you tell them? Without being pitchy, eh? I mean, don't just say spit my course. Just be as clear
Honestly,
and honest as you can.
I would say commit to a program. This program preferably, but I'd say commit to a program and don't let a bad day or a bad week or whatever stop you. Just because you stumble doesn't mean you can't move forward and get that goal. To me, that was key. Just making sure you fight through the bad days and you keep moving forward. You can't just stop and say, I had a bad day and I'm going to go buy a pack of cigarettes and keep smoking. So to me, it's the perseverance that you have to actually commit and persevere.
Right. Hey, we have a comment here. Uh, Hi, Georgia. Georgia, hi. I want to introduce you to Georgia Merlini. She said, "Hi, guys. Congratulations for leaving smoke behind once and for all." Thanks, Georgia.
Thank you,
Georgia,
Georgia.
she's of course from Italy. She's a good friend of mine, and she's also a coach. I mean, she's teaching people how to be fit and healthy. And we have pretty much the same. Well, we got to know each other just by case because she also lives pretty far away from my home, and we see each other occasionally. But thanks, Georgia, for being here with us. And well, that's all I wanted to share with you. And she's congratulating you as well. She knows the story, your story. She knows the story of your mom as well. And
Well, thank
actually,
you
her
very much, Georgia. We really appreciate the support. Let her know that we really appreciate the support, and I appreciate you coming on and commenting like that. Thank you.
her brother, his name is Marco. He's following the same program, and you probably saw him in the group.
You're gonna have nobody's gonna be buying cigarettes in Italy ever again.
Yeah,
Pretty soon you're gonna be the first smoke-free country in the world. I mean, gee, we could use that up here. That'd be great. No more cigarettes for sale. No more cigarettes on the road, on the street. I tell you, you better watch it. You're gonna end up with no clients. You're
all
gonna
right.
make everybody quit smoking.
Hey, I got a comment yesterday from a person uh, who was saying that tobacco industry should be put, I mean, should be just be shut down. And I said, well, this is something that is pretty difficult to control. We don't have control on that. All we have control on is on ourselves. If we quit smoking, we kill the demand, then tobacco industry will shut down naturally. Because if you shut down tobacco industry right now, you're not going to problem demand, right? Then black market is going to sell cigarettes for them.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's not, it's always just dreaming about things. So the thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you have pretty much the same idea. The thing is that people tend to expect others to solve their problems. However,
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
should hold ourselves accountable on a daily basis and understand where we can improve ourselves. Because if we improve, then we may get to live in a better world.
Yeah, and you're right about the demand. If treating the demand, treating those problems, that's what's going to fix the whole picture. You can't go out and just try to tackle, Philip Morris and all these big tobacco companies because they don't care. They do not care, but they will care if we kill the demand, if you kill the demand for it. if you make it so, cigarettes are so repulsive to so many people that they're taking financial losses. But if people don't take accountability for their habit, they don't say, look, I know that I put myself in this situation, then you're probably not ready to quit.
Right.
If you're sitting there saying, hey, I don't know about this, if you're wishy-washy, yeah, you're probably not ready to quit if you're not ready to take responsibility.
Right. Okay. Hey, Ty, is there anything else you want to share?
No, actually, I think we covered it all. Absolutely. And as I said, I'd be happy to come back on anytime.
Well, thank you very much. Are you going live anytime soon? Because Ty is a journalist and you're doing live broadcast on a daily basis, right?
Yeah. I'm doing live audio broadcasts about the sport of MMA, like UFC and things like that. I used to be a sports journalist who covered all sports. Now I
Uh-huh.
just cover MMA. But yeah, anybody who is an MMA fan, you can check out my Twitter feed at Above the Fold Ty, or just on Facebook under Ty O'Keefe. And I have lots of interesting things going on there. Lots of articles coming out. I'm a writer first, but I've been dragged onto the airwaves in the last few months, and it's taking up the majority of my time. So, but yeah, we're also going to be doing some YouTube content, things like that. But yeah, if you're an MMA fan, please do check me out. I appreciate that, David. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That looks great up there. That
Can
looks
you check
beautiful.
if
You've
it's
been up
spelled
there all the
right?
time. Yeah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's a saying from my father. Yeah, my father's a newspaper guy,
Uh-huh.
and he worked for newspaper, and he used to be a writer. So the paper was folded in half, right? And the main story of the paper, there'd be a big picture and a headline. And if he was the one who wrote the big picture and the headline, he'd always nudge me and say, hey, kid, look, above the fold. Like he got his article above the fold in the newspaper. So
Hmm.
that's where that comes from. I just kind of honor my old man, and he's still working hard at it in a small town newspaper in the States as well. So I come from a family of writers. I'm very fortunate.
Cool. Thanks for sharing the story. It's really interesting. And well, for all of you out there, if you want to check on Ty and his broadcast, if you're interested in MMA and sports, I mean, just uh, follow him on Twitter and on Get Dialogue.am, right? And
Yeah, you can, and
would
you
you
can
like to
message.
talk about Get Dialogue?
Yeah, and that's the place I've been doing my audio broadcasts a lot over the past 6 months. And anybody out there who wants to start a show, I know you've tried it out. It's really simple in that you don't need any special equipment. Just head on over to getdialogue.am and click start a dialogue, sign in with your Twitter name, and that's it. You're on the air, and you can literally talk about anything you want. It's free, and it's basically talk radio for Twitter and easy to post everywhere. So yeah, and I appreciate you mentioning that as well. I didn't want to bring it up myself, kind of a shameless advertisement of myself. So I appreciate you bringing it up. Thank you. But yeah, definitely. And if anybody has any questions about my content or what's going on at Get Dialogue, or they're not sure how to use the platform, just message me on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions.
Good. Yeah, I tried it myself. Like I said, I mean, you introduced me to that, and I did appreciate it. I did my first live broadcast. I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week. I kind of enjoyed it, and I still have to see if I had any listens, but I think I had like about 30 listens.
Yeah,
Right after 2 days,
it's a
which is
new
not bad.
platform. It's a
I'm
new
sorry?
platform, right? So nobody's getting a ton of listens right now, but that's just everybody. But the good thing with dialogue is you can put that. I'll show you how to do it if you want. You can make it into a video and put it on YouTube
Mhm.
as well. And so you can put your dialogue stuff on YouTube, and you can share it anywhere in social media. But yeah, it's a startup company that is really just looking for opportunities. They want more people on there, right? And so that's that. It's only showing when you get listens directly on dialogue. So you probably had more listens than that from other people. If you post it on social media, you have other people going into it from other directions. So I'm sure you had more than that.
Right. Yeah, I'm planning on using this channel also to advertise and to promote my product.
Yeah,
And yeah, I kind of like it. It's like it feels like you're on the radio, so it's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. I like it myself too, because if I'm in pain or not feeling well, I can still do my radio show. I
Right.
don't have to worry about being on camera, and yeah, it's a definite bonus. I enjoy it. Like I said, the simple fact of just not having to use any other cameras or microphones or anything, that to me is fantastic.
Okay. Hey, Ty, once again, thank you very much for sharing your
Oh, my
story,
pleasure.
and thanks for your dedication and for your success. And you're not going to smoke a cigarette now, right?
No. No. Actually, no. I'm gonna get back to work, I think. But
Great.
yeah, no. And thank you so much for having me. And truly, what you're doing is making a difference. And don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. This is a program that works. Anybody out there listening, please, if you're on the border, you want to quit, jump into this program. You don't have to quit the second you start the program. You can smoke through the first 14 lessons. That's 2 weeks. That's what drew me in too. That was another thing that drew me in, was that this guy isn't saying, hey, you got to stop right now. He's being realistic about the situation. And I think that is such a key part of your program, is that you're a realistic, your expectations for us are realistic. So anybody who starts a program, you don't have to stop smoking for 2 weeks. Just start the program. Just get in there and start the program. It's a fantastic program and it will change your life.
And here's the thing I can say. If you remember, you contacted me like 3 days or 4 days after you started, telling me, "Hey, I cut down the smoke," and I said, "No, don't do it. Keep doing it. I mean, keep smoking as you were smoking. It sounds strange here, but you have
Yeah,
to prepare yourself before putting off your
that's true.
last
I
cigarette."
forgot about that. I
So
forgot about that. I was going through a lot of pain and a lot of other stuff, and I emailed you and I said, I was going to cut my smoking early. It's not day 14, but I want to have a cigarette, and and you told me, so have a
yeah,
cigarette, and that knowing I could do that, all of a sudden it hit a switch in my head. It was like, okay, this is going to work. Because this is based on reality, not some dream expectation of whatever. This is based on people's everyday lives and how we live them. So
that's
yeah,
right.
that I forgot about that, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because here's the thing, people. You don't have to quit smoking if you're not ready. And I'm the one. I mean, I'm telling you firsthand. So the first 2 weeks are preparing you for the big step. But the thing is, you have to keep smoking until it will be yourself, your mind telling you, okay, I got enough. And it'll become natural. That's the crazy thing, right?
Absolutely, and the lessons, some lessons will really hit you and resonate with you, and others resonate with other people.
Yeah,
So I promise, though, you will find one lesson within your first 4 or 5 lessons that will really strike a chord with you and get you to get where you need to be to move forward.
okay. Hey, Ty, once again, thank you very, very much. And I guess we'll stay in touch because right now
Oh,
about
absolutely.
this dialogue channel, I contact you. I mean, maybe for some suggestions. Now I help you. Maybe you can help me right now. Go moving forward with dialogue. And what can I say, people? This is a great example of success, and uh, there's nothing else I can say. I mean, this video just
Well,
talks to itself.
that's high praise, and without you, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you for having me, and thank you so much for the program, and thank you so much for allowing me to come on and tell my story. I'd be happy to do it any other time.
All right. Thank you, Ty. And to everybody, I should say you should stop burning cash and you should start stashing bucks. All right. So stop smoking, save money, save health, and contact me if you need to know more about this program, and I'll tell you. All right. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye, Ty. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.